Welcome back everyone to the Rank 0 to 100 series episode 3. This episode we have a lot of guns. People voted that they wanted the series extended to about 15-20 minutes, so I thought that we would deliver. Last episode of the series we saw over 1,000 new subscribers to the channel, which is awesome, yet 68% of you guys watching the videos still aren't subs, so please, if you guys are enjoying it, make sure you hit the sub button. I know that you guys are going to keep seeing me in your recommended, so you might as well just subscribe so you know to keep coming back. But let's hop into this. We had a lot of guns that I had a lot of fun with, and some that I wish I had more time with, especially like the AUG one, which we jump into straight away in this video. The AUG one, extremely low recoil gun. I think a lot of people know this. The AUG series is kind of known for that. It's not as powerful as it used to be because AP ammo was nerfed a little bit. However, it still definitely holds its own. The accuracy, as you guys will see in the video, is pretty easy to control. There's a lot of kind of horizontal back and forth going on, but that's because I don't have like a compensator or anything on the gun right now because I didn't have time to unlock it within the rank. But overall, the gun was insanely good to use. This is definitely one of the guns that I wish I had more time with because it's just so easy. It's so relaxing. Definitely one of the best early guns you could pick up. The fun was short-lived, however, we get to jump into the Beowulf ECR now. The Beowulf ECR is definitely one of the more unique guns that comes into this game. It has an extremely fast rate of fire going up to 780. It's one of the few guns that have all three firing modes where it can be semi, burst, and auto. And the fact that the gun does so much damage is kind of ridiculous close range. I feel like I didn't get enough clips that it can really show the power of this gun. I mean, somewhat you can see at times where I just kind of mow someone down close range, but I wish I would have had something like Metro where spraying down the hallways just turns the gun into an absolute monster. The gun can two-shot anywhere, and I mean anywhere, even the pinky toe, up to a little over 80 studs, which is kind of ridiculous. And the gun could also be used in all ranges of combat, where you could use it close range on full auto. You can kind of burst it at a medium range, even though the recoil is really heavy, so it can be hard to control. And then you also have semi mode, which allows you to very easily use this gun as a DMR at long range. Granted, at super long ranges it does drop down to a 4-shot kill, but that doesn't mean that you can't use it. Using a gun like this on anything like Warehouse or Metro, especially Metro when you're in those tight hallways, it is an absolute beast of a gun. The gun does have a really strong learning curve in my opinion. It really does take some time to practice because that recoil is so high. It's like the polar opposite of the AUG one, which we just went over. If you want a gun that can just absolutely mow people down in close range, this is going to be your pick. It kind of puts SMGs to shame on like a small level, but at the same time, like I said, huge skill learning curve to it. Give it a shot, see how you guys like it. We step into the M16A4, and I know what you guys are thinking, but just please give me a second. My views on the M16A4 and the M4 have changed a little bit, and I kind of want to discuss what happened. So with this gun, I took it a little bit slower this time around. I didn't want to just sit there and try to hyper burst it like you used to, and I didn't think that complaining about the M4 was as justified. Once I stepped into the M16A4, I took a new approach to the gun, and I actually had a bit more of an enjoyable time with it. I realized that instead of trying to hyper burst it or burst it perfectly, which I just simply wasn't ready to do, I took it slower. I bursted the gun at a normal rate. This time I decided to take full advantage of the gun's ability to one burst, which the M4 had as well, but I was so stuck up in the fact that I wanted to try to like fully automatic burst it that I just didn't get to use the gun how it should have been used. Don't get me wrong, people can still definitely burst it a million times better than I can. I am nowhere near good with it, but me taking it slow was definitely the improvement and the new kind of eye-opening perspective that I needed. So I apologize for my comments on the M4 in episode 2. However, throughout the series, you may see me rethink on some of the guns that I've talked about in the past. There definitely will be times I give opinions on guns, and it's how I feel in the moment, but upon reflecting on them further, I may change it, and I will like to talk about them, which is why we keep this all in a series. If I ever do change opinions, feel free to ask questions on why I may have changed if I don't explain it well enough, but let's hop into the next gun. No, that was going so well. So as I hope you guys just saw in that first clip, the MAC-10 is a beast of a gun that nobody really talks about all that much. It's been in the game for quite some time, and like I said, it's kind of unspoken. Nobody brings it up too much, but the gun is actually considered one of, if not one of the top 5 best closest range guns in the game. It can 3-shot to the body at close range, or it could 2-shot headshot. That's a power that not many of these SMGs have, especially ones that are this low of a rank. While the go-to gun for most people is usually going to be the Vector or even the Beowulf ECR, PCR because of how fast that can kill. It is an absolute monster of a gun that you guys need to try out. The recoil can be a little bit daunting at first, but granted, remember that I had no attachments on this gun while a lot of you other guys could get attachments pretty easily. It's definitely worth checking out. I had a lot of fun with it. We were just tearing up Metro, and that was probably the best map we could have possibly had for it. In close range hallways, you'll see clip after clip. I'm just mowing people down. It's so fast, it's ridiculous, that I really hope people understand that this gun is not to be played with, and it's definitely something that should be in the meta a bit more often. While it may not be as accurate as something as like the Vector, it still holds the power of something like the M231, and it has a minimum time to kill of 0.05 seconds, one of the fastest in the game. Although the 2-shot headshot is only up to 20 studs, I promise you're not going to be using this gun at much of a range. I'll even throw some clips where I am using it at a little bit of a range, just so you can see that it's still possible to use. But it's a monster, bro. I don't know how else to talk about this gun without just praising it. It is by far one of the more fun and top damage SMGs in the game. Please give it a shot. Well, I'm gonna let you guys know right now, this is not an easy transition going from the MAC-10 to the P90, going from a damage demon to a kind of slightly more nerf bullet gun. While the P90 doesn't necessarily lack in damage, it is obvious that it has a larger mag for a reason. The damage obviously isn't going to be the same. There was a lot of times that I was using it where I thought I killed people and I just didn't. Felt like I was always just one shot behind on, you know, when I would normally shoot and look away and know that I killed someone. I so thought he died. It's definitely because I went from such a strong gun to a weaker gun, so take that with a grain of salt. The gun is still pretty solid. I don't have any true complaints about the P90. I didn't not like it, I didn't love it either. I know a lot of people were excited for me to use this gun, and I apologize for not having too much to say. I'm happy with it. I think the gun's fun. I think it's pretty decent to use. I wouldn't pick it as my first pick, but it's also not something that I would discourage. Oh baby, we're moving on to the G36. While I'm extremely excited to jump into the G36, why don't we have a little look back on that Metro game where a hacker decides to come in and have some fun, and I put an end to it. I already know this guy is going to be the exploiter's account. How much do you guys want to bet? He's loading into the game right now, but I'm just going to wait on it. Yeah, there it is. And he's gone. So, I kinda have to come clean. In the hype of unlocking the G36, I completely overlooked the fact that the DBV-12 came before it, and I got a little bit through the game before I realized. So we had to cut back to the DBV-12. Since I was going to rank 25, it would require 26,000 EXP, which means the P90 and the DBV-12 realistically both should have gotten 13,000. So we had to get this 13,000 EXP first. I'm going to save all the G36 kills for after. Sorry about that. So for all the newer viewers around here, shotguns are overpowered to me and you cannot convince me otherwise. Although I do have a little too much fun using them. I definitely think that it's a lot more relaxed using them, and you basically just can be brainless as possible. You don't really have to aim all that much, you just shoot in a general direction. You usually win most of the time, so it's kind of enjoyable, I can't deny that. But we used the DBV-12, only had to do 13,000 XP on it, which you guys can see that we are tearing it up a little bit. Got a lot of quad and multi-kills. It was fun to use. I really... Shotguns are kind of like a guilty pleasure to me, but my god, will you never convince me that they're balanced. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and let's have some real fun with the G36. Ooh. Ooh. My baby's back. Sadly, we only get it for 27,000 XP. Oh wait, no, 26,000. God dang it. But my baby, she's here. Oh, I'm dead. Yep, alright, that's way too many. So there may be a little bit of bias when it comes to the G36 in me. Just a little bit, not too much. I only had 110,000 kills on it before I reset my account. No big deal. So the G36, in my honest opinion, is one of the most easy guns to get into that holds so much power. It was buffed a few months ago so that it can 4-shot anywhere on the body, including the pinky toe, and that makes the gun an absolute animal. You have amazing recoil. Don't get me wrong, there is some recoil, but there really isn't much that it makes a huge difference. I'm saying some because it's not like a full laser beam, but it is really accurate. You get the drift. The gun has insanely good damage, good reload time. It is all around just an animal. It's a little overpowered, dare I say, but I mean, hey, I don't get to make the gun balancing, so I don't have a say in this. But it has been my favorite gun for over 3 years now. As you guys will see throughout this video, we dropped a ton of kills in this. There's probably going to be a lot of little G36 clip highlights. You'll see that we dropped a pretty nice high kill game again. The second one of this video, I didn't show the first one, I apologize about that, but it's gonna be the second one for this video. If you guys want to set up, the best way to go is probably DCL 120, a compensator, probably I always use folding or stubby, green laser AP ammo. It's my baby, bro. I miss it. I miss using it. I'm sad that it only lasted for a little bit. And just like that, it's over. So fast, man, so fast.